few days ago I watched one video, one Instagram reel that just opened up my eyes and made me, it basically challenged me to think in a different way and try to observe things in a different way. And that is an Instagram reel where a man was saying that if you get pissed off at the tiny little things like waiting in line or someone cutting in front of you in a line, or just those little tiny things, if you get pissed off at that, that just shows that you're doomed to failure. You're never gonna succeed in life. And what this man actually said is, if you get pissed off by those tiny little problems, open up a fucking business and then see what problems are raised and how huge problems can get. And I tried to observe it during the last few days. Actually, during the last 2 weeks, I was consciously observing it at all times. And it's unbelievable how many people, average people, I'm talking the people you see in your surroundings, a taxi driver, a grocery store worker, a mother, a child, whatever, just a random person, a cafe or whatever, they just get pissed off at the tiny little things. They get pissed off so much. And then there's me, who doesn't get pissed off at all at a huge problem for normal people. There's my right hand man who does the same thing. There's my right hand man's mother, and a lot of other people that I realized thinking in this way, a lot of more successful driven people thinking in this way. And I'm gonna connect all the dots to you because right now I just brought it all out there, and now I would like to connect the dots. If you want to watch, continue watching, but the main message is put out there. If you get pissed off by tiny little things, you're just doomed to failure. That's it. And you should try and open a business up or do whatever to have bigger problems, so that those tiny problems just don't mean shit to you, you know. Basically that's what I'm trying to say. So now that I got the whole message across, I want to share what I realized and what I observed during the last 2 weeks of me consciously trying to observe. Is that actually true? Is that a thing that will determine if you will succeed or you will just be doomed to failure? And what I realized is, actually, yeah, that is true. Because I saw many poor people who are never gonna succeed. I mean, that's the honest truth. They're never gonna succeed. If they continue living the life that they are living right now, they're just not gonna succeed in life. They're not gonna get the most amount of money in life. They're not. Because their biggest problem right now is that the price went up by €1 for a piece of bread. How the fuck can you get pissed off at that? Or they got pissed off because a guy switched lanes without turning on their blinker in a car. What the fuck? Or they get pissed off because the red light is so long. It takes so long for the red light to turn green, for the traffic light to turn green so that you can go, and they get pissed off at it. It's like, what? Why would you get pissed off at waiting in line? There is many bigger problems that you could face right now. Many bigger problems. And if you get pissed off at those tiny little things, it shows a lot to me. Firstly, it shows that you're doomed to failure. And secondly, it shows that you just don't have big problems in your life. You just don't. You just fucking don't. Because, let me be brutally honest, why the fuck would I get pissed off if someone cut in line in front of me in a grocery store, or if a price went up for gas by a few cents? Why the fuck would I get pissed off at that if tomorrow a war can come out in my country and I would need to go and be a soldier, basically fuck everything up that I created so far, my online business, my YouTube channel that I care so much about, just screw everything up, get away from my girl, get away from my right-hand man brother, my brother, get away from everyone and just fight in a war. Go fight for being dead or alive. And why the fuck would a price of gas that has been increased by a few cents piss me off? I mean, why? Or let me use a more real example, because you could say, yeah, but a war will never come out. Let me use a real example, a more real example. If you know, I have an online business. I'm currently doing social media marketing. I've done social media marketing for over 3 years now, and I have an online business, and that's my main income stream. That's where I get all of my money from, and that's how I can afford to have food on the table. And why the fuck would I get pissed off if, whilst I'm driving a car, someone doesn't turn their blinker on when they switch lanes? Why would I get pissed off at that if someone can hack my accounts, can hack all of my accounts, log into the ads managers of all of my clients, and spend all of the money of my clients? Imagine that problem. Imagine me having that problem. Suddenly, if someone cuts in front of me, it's gonna be like nothing happened, because nothing actually happened. I had problems where I got hacked into my account, my business account, this exact example that I said, apart from them logging into my client's account and stealing the money from my clients. Not that, but the part where I got hacked in my business account, that happened. Literally last year, it happened. And I didn't know how. And honestly, I truly believed there is no way coming back. But I was hustling for 2 weeks trying to figure it out. I had no money in my bank account so that I can pay someone to fix it for me. I had to fix it myself. And so 2 weeks of trying to get my business back together whilst running the same business for my clients without them noticing that there is any issue, that I would say it's a little bit of a bigger problem than if someone comes in line in front of me. I would say that's a little bit of a bigger problem, you know? So what I'm trying to say with this is, if you think that someone cutting in front of you in a line in a grocery store is something worthy of getting you pissed off, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're just doomed to failure if you don't switch your mindset. You're never going to succeed. You're never going to succeed, never. Because success comes with failing over and over and over again. And I'm not just talking about monetary success, so that means getting a lot of money. I'm talking about any success, relationship success. If you want to have a girl who's eventually gonna become your wife, do you genuinely think you're gonna find that dream girl and you're never gonna have an argument with her? I fucking hope you never find a woman that you're never gonna have an argument with. I hope so much that you're gonna find a woman that is constantly gonna want to argue with you, constantly gonna want to share her feelings of not being loved enough or of wanting something more. I want that for you. I want a woman for you that is gonna care so much about herself that she's gonna ask you to become better. She's gonna challenge you into becoming a better version of yourself. That's what you need, and that's what I'm begging for, and I strongly hope that you're gonna find a woman like that. But if you think you're gonna find a woman where she's just gonna agree with everything, that's just not it. You found yourself not a wife equality woman. You didn't. You fucking didn't. And that's the harsh truth. Every aspect of life where you want to succeed will bring some problems with it, will make something that is going to create create a situation where you need to put in effort. There is not a single thing you can succeed in without going through a problem, without a problem arising. Not a single thing. Name me one thing where you can succeed without having problems, without having to go through any problems. There's none. There is fucking none. So the way you're gonna act when a problem comes is gonna determine the level of success you're gonna get. If you can deal with the tiny problems like they're nothing, then go through it. You're gonna succeed. But if a tiny thing like someone cutting in front of you whilst you drive your car and someone just cuts in front of you without a blinker on and that pisses you off, then what if someone steals all of your accounts? What if someone breaks into your house, steals every single bit of you? Every single bit of your belongings. They steal everything. What then? I don't fucking know. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna behave? What's gonna be your reaction to that? It's so important to know how to deal with problems and to know how to respond to them and not get pissed off at the tiny little things. And that's gonna take time. That's gonna take so much time. But it's worth it. Because now I'm gonna share with you my story. During the last 2 weeks, I realized shit happened. But who the fuck cares? I was in this car and maybe you can see I'm sweating so much. Why? Because it's so hot outside. I'm talking 30 degrees Celsius outside. It's fucking hot. And my AC in my car is not working properly. It's not working. Yeah, it brings wind in, so there's airflow in the car, but it's not cooling for some reason. And hear this out. Last year I fixed it all. Less than a year ago I fixed it, and it's not working. And I didn't get pissed off at it. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, it's not working. I'm gonna have to go and fix it again. That's it. It's gonna cost me some money again. It's gonna cost me some time again. But fuck it, if I want to do it, I have to do it. But still, I drove with my right-hand man and his mother and my girlfriend to Plitvice Lakes in Nature Park, which is 2.5 hours away, in the burning hot sun. And none of us four said a single thing about it, apart from, yeah, it's just hot, but let's just roll the windows down and that's it. That's the way a successful person or a person who will succeed reacts to a problem. Because it's a huge problem. I'm sweating right now, but am I getting pissed off because I'm sweating? No, I have to record a video. I get to record a video and it's raining outside, so I'm just gonna record a video in my car because it's raining outside and I don't wanna just be flooded in rain. So yeah, okay, it's okay. And then hear this out. We went to Plitvice Lakes. We got an apartment. We got the whole downstairs floor of a house, which was next to a beautiful yard or ranch with a lot of horses that we were horseback riding. Basically, we were riding the horses the next day. And yeah, we had that. And when we arrived at the apartments and we needed to take the keys, firstly, I didn't know where the keys were. I didn't get a code for it. So I was like, okay, let me just call up the owner. I called up the owner. The owner was so confused. They didn't know shit. And they told me, okay, let me just, a woman replied to my call and she said, okay, let me just call my brother and then I'll call you up. 10 minutes passed, she didn't call me up and I was like, what the fuck, should I wait? Or what the fuck? So I just called them up again. I didn't want to get pissed off. I just called them up again. I said, okay, I just called you, and do you maybe know some more information about the keys? And she was like, yeah, you just put this code in and you'll get the keys. And I was like, okay. And I put the code in, I got the keys, I went into the downstairs, the whole downstairs of the house, and I realized there is one double bed, one couch that could be folded, and one sofa that could be folded out. So it's technically 5 people can sleep there, but in a way I understood we will have 2 double beds, because I wanted to rent out accommodation for 5 people to sleep in. And I was like, okay, my right hand man and his mom, they will sleep in the double bed because they came all the way to my country, so they will sleep in the double bed, and my girl and I will sleep on the sofa. Fuck it. I didn't get pissed off at it. And hear this out. The next thing you know, we get knockings on our door, and the woman, there was a woman saying, yeah, this is not your apartment is upstairs, and it's not cleaned yet, so you would need to go outside for half an hour and then come back when it's cleaned. I was like, what the fuck? I rented the downstairs. What the fuck? Why do we go upstairs? So I was like, okay, if that's what you think, okay. We went outside of the apartment, we went to a shop, we did some shopping, came back half an hour later, and then the same woman came up to us and said, oh, actually the apartment that you were in, that is your apartment, the whole downstairs, it's yours, so here's your keys back and go back. And I was like, okay. So that situation happened to us, 4 people. None of us reacted pissed off. Of course, we were just like, what the fuck is going on? But we actually just laughed about it, saying that it's just dumb from them and that they are just confused and stupid. But we didn't get pissed off, because why would we? Because all of us go through a lot bigger problems than just, I don't know, not having the apartment ready, or having a person just be confused about the keys, or waiting for 10 minutes to get the keys. Why would we get pissed off at it? Why? My right hand man owns a business, and if something happens to his business, if a problem arises, he needs to fix it. And worrying about waiting for 10 minutes to get a key, or arguing with the apartment owner because they were confused, that's just such a little problem compared to what can happen in our businesses. And so, to conclude this whole video, I want you from now on to stop getting pissed off about tiny little things. And if you cannot do that, do as the man in the Instagram reel said. Open a fucking business up, and then you'll see how many problems can arise in just a few seconds. How many fucking problems, and I'm not talking tiny problems, I'm talking big problems that you will not be able to fix in a couple of months. I'm not talking days, I'm talking months. Expose yourself to bigger problems so that your tiny problems eventually start to not exist, and you start to not look at them as a problem. You look at them as just a thing that happened, because it's not a problem, but rather the big problem is the main problem.